Hey everybody, it's Mike Broadhurst with the Prude Home team. Today's October 12th. Happy Columbus Day. Let's take a look at the Bluffton market report. This week, 33 new properties came on the market. Last week, 33 new properties came on the market, so no real change there. But last year, we had 64 new properties come on the market, so that's a decline of about almost 50% in new inventory. Year to date, we have 1,629 properties on the market compared to last year's 1,854. Again, a decline of about 12% in new inventory. This week's sales, 19 properties closed this week compared to 36 last week and 34 this time last year. When we're comparing one week to another, 2019 to 2020, that's almost a 45% decline in sales. Year to date, however, almost even. 1,324 year-to-date sales compared to 1,336 this time last year, and that's off by 1%. So very, very close in the number of sales. This week, properties under contract, 52 compared to last week's 49, and to last year, 22. Huge increase of 136% in market activity. Properties under contract for the year, 1,576 for 2020 compared to 1,349 last year. That's an increase of about 16.8%. This week, average sales price, again, folks, every week it bounces all around. $330,000 is our average sales price. $373,000 last week and $393,000 last year. More importantly is the year-to-date average sales price. This year, $451,400 compared to last year's $390,953. That's over 15% increase in market value. This week's cumulative days on market, 109 compared to 174 last week and 102 last year. A slight increase of over 6% in cumulative days on market. Year to date, 118 cumulative days on market compared to 109 through this time last year. That's an increase of about 8% in cumulative days on market. So we're going to close with these following thoughts. We're gone through 3/4 of the year as of September 30th, and I thought it would be really interesting to just look at the year in general as we've gone through this really unique year when it comes to selling real estate. Remember, there's two dates that we need to sort of reflect back on. One is March 22nd. That's the day that the governor of South Carolina put restrictions on the state. And the other date is May 11th, and that's the day that he lifted the restrictions. And some very interesting numbers pop up when we reflect back on those two dates. In the first quarter of the year, that is January through March, where we really weren't impacted by COVID, the number of sales were almost identical. We actually had about a 4% number of sales increase earlier this year. April through June dropped off dramatically. For that whole quarter, we were off by the number of sales for 25%. In fact, in May, the number of sales in Bluffton were off by over 50%. However, when we take a look at the sales during the last quarter of this year, which is July through September, there's a complete flip-flop. So what we're seeing is 60 days after each of these dates, we can see how the market was impacted by these decisions and by COVID. So in July, sales up 28% for that month. August, sales were up 19%, and September up almost 50%. So what does that mean? It means that market activity since COVID has been very, very strong. I want to point out one other thing before we leave for this week, and that is, this is something we need to keep an eye on. That's new inventory. New inventory for the past 4 months is actually more than it was this time last year. We have a lot more demand, but we also are seeing an increase in supply. Whether that means a softening or maybe whether the market will cool down, it's yet to be seen, but it's something we'll want to keep an eye on. Folks, If you need someone for representation in buying or selling, give me a call. We do a thorough job. We've been around for 30 years, and we have your best interest at heart. Give me a call. I'm Mike Broadhurst, 843-837-7773. See you next week.